Okay, welcome back. I'm gonna unmute myself real quick. Welcome back to the game. We're already in the lobby. Everybody is here, so it's gonna be a fast one this time.
Ooh, I need to get in there real quick.
Oh no, you're still left.
Yeah, I've been left, but lobby's full.
Yeah, I had the same problem. Oh no, we're both dilly-dallying.
we gotta shoutcast the game we can't see. There we go. Get me in there.
Yeah, I will not be able to fix the board before we can start, but I'm gonna just improvise real quick. So I'm just gonna give you a straight up. Yeah, there you go. This isn't perfect. Oh wait, no, it's the cup one. Never mind. Okay, guys, we are professional
it's
here.
It's a workaround.
It's a workaround.
The production value is seamless.
Oi, I'm not getting paid, okay?
It's intern work, 40-hour work weeks, zero pay, but you get college credit.
Oh no, that's wrong. I don't want to see you. Okay, well, now you're seeing my screen. Okay, no. You don't get to see my screen. 30.
DJ Sona background.
Well, I have the leak screen splitter. Okay, wait, I have an idea. Okay, yes, a new one. Whole leak screen. Okay, I'm having that soon. Don't panic, guys. Don't panic. Automatic. I'm fine with that. Yes. Just give me the leak line. Oh my god, yeah! Look at that! It's perfect. It's perfect.
And right into the draft.
Wow. Just
now
on
you can
time.
see everything that's picked and banned.
I mean, it's better than just seeing half the cast, I'd say.
You can just for the first game, you can just edit in post. You know, just put the frames in there. It's fine.
I'm predicting a Darius ban, by the way.
I wouldn't be surprised if Darius is out. I also wouldn't be surprised if Caston's out. I don't know if anyone else in the team's worth banning, but they did opt for, you know, there's a Mumu ban, Nami ban, Maokai. So they're just hitting both those junglers from last game.
You're a bit quiet.
Galio as well.
Yeah.
Not letting him play that one trick Galio support. Man, I want to see it. But they're just not letting it happen.
Wait, they have a one-trick Galio support?
I wouldn't say full one trick, but definitely they played a lot more Galio than other characters.
Holy shit, I respect them.
I do too. Galio is one of my favorite characters in the game that I don't play that often.
Okay, I don't think that Troglodyte has changed their bans at all, which I do understand because it worked well for them this time. They've actually banned Maokai themselves. I mean, they picked it, like the last time. Mental Papier picked it. But this time they just don't want to play it and don't want Troglodytes to play with it.
Yeah, they just decided, you know, they don't want it. They also just made sure they moves out both, so just both the jungle options are gone.
This is interesting. Counter picking the Kai'Sa from last game.
Yeah, B1 Kai'Sa pick, definitely just showing the cards of, hey, we want the scaling champ again. That kind of gives bot lane free reign to go for something bullying again, but we saw that didn't work out last time, so they might opt for something else. They're also going for a more scaling bot lane with the range advantage, so that kind of helps them out because they'll have a better time to scale than Kai'Sa will.
I mean, Jinx is always just... I think Jinx is... Well, okay, maybe except from... how was he called? Oh, goddamn. The little void puppy. Kog'Maw.
I can turn myself up, don't worry, I got it.
It's Kog'Maw. It's Kog'Maw, but I mean, Kog'Maw isn't really that he's scaling, but rather that he's utilizing items very well, and he needs a good support too. So I do say that Jinx is the best scaling ADC.
Yeah, no, they're definitely up there. Kog'Maw, the way I had this, I had a conversation with someone before with Kai'Sa Jinx versus Kog'Maw, is Jinx's damage is a lot more backloaded. You know, you get that first pick and then she starts tearing people apart. Whereas Kog'Maw is more front-loaded, where like he immediately just presses W, he starts just tearing you apart, get the lethal stacked up, and he just goes. And he definitely is a really good answer into tanks. I'd say more so than Jinx, but Jinx can tear through.
I agree.
Squishier teams and/or just fighters way quicker. I can't tell you how many times I've been playing like, you know, go Darius, go Aatrox, go some kind of bruiser, and Jinx just, you know, melts you in 2 seconds, and you're like, well, dang.
Dang.
So she can be a scary champ when she gets her items. When she gets 3 items, 4. I don't know how good she is at 2 items now, but definitely being able to build Infinity Edge second on her is really good. Because that item makes Jinx like a character.
I absolutely agree. Well, back in the day it was Hurricanes. You never saw a Jinx without Hurricanes, but I do think that they nerfed it, didn't they? Just back in the game, I'm very surprised by the not in siege pre-pick because, especially because the tanks, they can just like get counterpicked now pretty easily. Tanks are pretty vulnerable right now, and they did not pick the Syndra, and even took it by the chance. They shut down the Silas, they shut down the Syndra, and they shut down the Kassadin this time.
Yeah, they definitely, both sides have to round out their comp in some kind of way. Definitely with Kaisa's team, they're going to need more damage because right now Kaisa's their only threat. But they've got a really strong front line that can pick stuff out, but there's also not really any mobile characters that they're going for. Because now it's really good into stuff that, moves around a lot. Zeri, Assassins, all that, because his R just locks them down. But, they have Jinx, Zyra, which are just going to wall out the tanks, and they picked into that, too.
Yeah.
So unless they're planning to run this out in a really strong way, it could honestly have been a really rough pick into what this team has. J4 as well, that's going to be really good in denying Nautilus and Sejuani.
I do think that the bot lane is going to have a lot of problems, just with Jinx having this massive range and AoE damage, and the Zyra will just punish the Nautilus if he goes in.
Yeah, no, a lot can go wrong here. They definitely need to get something that helps them access this Jinx because it's going to be really hard so far to get on them. If they just properly front to back, it's comes down to which ADC just has more gold, and Jinx does outrange Kaisa in the early game.
I would have loved to see a Victor here. I'm a bit sad that they opted for Viger this time.
Yeah, Viger's an interesting pick here. This might just be they might be planning to go for just a snowballing lane again because Viger definitely likes to, stay back and go for that poke, whereas the rest of the team definitely looks more engaged. So the only way he kind of works with that is, he just deletes someone with the Zara. So, maybe they are just going for the, we're just going to try to, throw Sejar and just immediately burst Jinx and then take the rest of their team. But Jax as a pick as well is definitely nice here. That helps fight the Jinx as well because she only autos. Jax can just block all that. But Camille into Jax, that is definitely a pretty skill matchup top lane. It can go either or. It depends on how each plays around their E.
Yeah, this is going to be, again, a very interesting battle on the top lane here. I'm not gonna see what's going on bot lane right there. I do think that Nautilus and Kai'Sa just have to play very carefully. If they play a lot with their jungler, I think they have a better chance at succeeding. But the question is, if the Zyra plays it right, will they be able to pull off any ganks?
Yeah, no. With the Zyra Jinx, they should be able to get shoved, get deep vision that Sejuani will have a hard time ganking. But as well, Nautilus just has to find one engage where Zyra can't punish them and they will take over the lane. It can go either or, but definitely, it seems like it'll be a lot harder for Kai'Sa's side to pull out this game.
I'm also seeing this draft on the side of Troglodytes again.
Yeah, but they've proven us wrong before.
No, other way around. No,
the other way around.
This time it's strong on Troglodyte's side, and last time it was the other way around. I misspoke. I'm sorry. And somebody in the chat said that I shouldn't forget the scoreboard. And I'm gonna blow you off your socks soon because I was very smart and did a Scooby-Doo where I can just switch around the teams on my whim. So you don't have to stare at the wrong team now. This at least I fixed. Wee! It'll be in the in-game screen, by the way. You can't see it.
Man, definitely interesting team. I wonder where the junglers are going to path. I wonder if we're going to see the gold jungle special of go bot to top no matter what, or if we're actually going to see them mixed up a bit if they're trying to play for, It's definitely going to be a very volatile bot lane this game, but, if Jax takes over, Camille takes over, it also could just change the game. Because Camille can kind of start exerting split pressure, same thing with Jax, and both teams are going to want to be a lot more grouped. And then those characters will be the only ones that kind of determine what the pressure will be on the map outside of that.
I would really like to see top to bottom from the Jarvan. I don't know if that's possible, but I just love to see the early gank, either in mid lane or on bot lane. I don't know if, Camille is also just great to early gank with, but that depends on where the price stands.
Yeah, no, she's a great early gank, but also ganking Jax can be awkward. You have to bait Jax onto Camille before you start that fight, because otherwise he'll just ward hop out, and J4 has his knockup, but after that, they have to make sure they hit that. And you'll get a flash into Jax, but you're not going to get that early pick unless Jax really messes it up.
I would just love to see, the early ahead Jinx, because then she's going to have a much easier time to play it.
Yeah, and if she goes crack and Infinity Edge, and then she starts getting, LDR, she'll start to, tear through that armor before they even get it. And if she just gets that snowball, once she gets those 3 items, the game is basically we have to kill Jinx or it's over. And then if Camille's also doing well, it becomes a very dangerous situation. Because if she gets Divine, it becomes really hard for almost the entire team to fight her solo. So it's going to take more than one person, if Jax can't fight her, to answer her all game if she decides to go on the split.
That is absolutely true. I'm excited to see where this goes. I do hope that Mental Papier is just how the name states. Mental prepared. Haha, good joke. No, I do hope to see a comeback from them because, as I said, I want to see their team fight shine. So I'm a bit on their side right now, but I'm so surprised by the strong, entrance of Troglodytes, and I'd love to see that flourish as well. So I'm kind of split.
Yeah, no, I'm just excited to be watching games where you don't see Lucian Nami every single time.
Damn, you're not betting? What the fuck is this? Oh, I'm all in for just banning Lucian Nami from this tournament. You'll get my sign right away.
Yeah, no, just the house rule. You don't even waste the bans. Just say it's banned no matter what, and it's a better tournament already.
Oh yeah, it's so much more comfortable for everybody around. It's just such I don't know what they did there, but this is broken. It's just no fun to play against. Like
they did nerf
Lucian
it again,
Nami,
so I don't know how well it stacks up, but I still see it, and I still see success on it. So
yeah, my problem is just that the Lucian Nami combo, like Lucian E's you once, but the Nami E, you're just Half-Life. You can't dodge it. You can't really punish it either because the Lucian still has like 4 spells left. 3, I mean.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you don't expect it to do, your entire health bar in 2 seconds, and then now he does it, and you're like, oh, well, there goes lane, because they're doing that. They got the level 2 first, and they get the wave push. It ends lane off that first kill. It's always a very, very stressful lane that you have to respect if you don't keep that push on top of them.
Scores right now and look at this, how pretty it is. It is correct now, and we gotta add the score on the right side. I'll do that real quick. And score, it goes from a 0 to a 1.
Yeah, looks like both teams are looking for a 5-point, except J4 is not taking middle lane. Oh, they might be going for a kind of collapse in bot river that they're expecting an invade with Nautilus. Definitely looks like TMP just didn't want to go for a dive, and they're just watching all their entrances, and both teams are just getting a calm start. No shenanigans this time.
No shenanigans this time. Sad. I'm a bit sad, especially because Rebane requested a bit more early game skirmishes. It doesn't really have, it doesn't really has changed. So I do think that we're gonna see a written complaint of Rebane later.
Written complaint. You guys aren't playing the game more interesting.
God
Stop playing to win.
Go
Throw the
invade.
game. Throw the game.
Invade. I mean, to be fair,
we have 4 enchanters. We don't want to invade. Do it anyway.
Do it anyway. We have a Yumi on our team. I don't care. I mean, to be fair, I've lynched Rebane like 10 times now. I don't know how many legs he has left. So let's see if he can run from us. If he ever complains.
How many legs did he have before?
I did not count. I'm sorry. That is a secret he will take to his grave. We can see a good trade on the side of Iger here.
They're definitely both getting poked. If whoever can get level 2 here first might be able to just force the other one back.
So you're telling me to just go goddamn bot lane, man. This is... I don't know, the camera is deciding where to go, and it's saying that bot lane is freaking boring.
Ooh, yeah, that's really good on Jax. He got quite a bit of damage there. Camille gets a little bit back with her, grasp proc, but her passive shield got no value for her there.
I don't think that you want to trade with Camille level 1. Just because, yeah, you want the mobility from your other abilities against that lane. And I'm very
you go for the W poke, but there's very few lanes that Camille will go for the level 1 trade, but there are some, and it depends on your spell order as well. There's a couple lanes where Camille can, rush E first in, and she can just kind of run someone down.
Look at this, Jax just getting the trades in.
Yeah,
so
he's
well
playing around her passive really, really well. She's getting no value out of her shielding. Ooh, Viger misses the cannon going for that trade. That's 60 gold less.
But to be fair, this like
Nautilus misses the hook engage on Jinx, clips the minion barely, so he doesn't get that early pick. That could have been a kill or a flash.
At least they got the cannon.
But they did get the farm. They are getting the push.
No, it's not minus.
It's not
one.
gonna hit
It's
turret. Zyra,
46.
Zyra's root keeping it out of turret, so they're able to stop them from resetting.
Well played. But that's the strength we were talking about with Zyra there. Ah, he got it. The Camille turning it around just with her bulkiness in general. I mean, she did start with shield, orange shield, so we do see its heal property right here, I'd say.
Oh yeah, no, the bunch of short trades, you get a lot of value from Doran Shield. It kind of keeps you in the game for a long time.
I'm very surprised by, oh wait, the Viger is being outfarmed by the Silas. That is very sad, to be honest. But I'm very surprised by the Viger just proving himself in the short fights they've got. The Silas always runs out with less health than the Viger.
Yeah, no, it's definitely no slow things. And again, Silas needs to find something here. He's going for an engage, trying to get this pick on Viger. Catches him after the flash.
That is
the Q,
well
get all the procs. One more auto. He gets the pick. He's not being outscaled this time. He is fighting for his lane.
Well, you're on the wrong side. That was Team TRO that died again. That's the custom.
Yeah, but Silas isn't getting outscaled this time. This is what you should be doing. You should be getting those fights on those scaling champs.
I mean, maybe he knows that because he did play a scaling champ last game. So
yeah, he knows the matchup from both sides, and that's respect to him.
I mean, to be fair, like know your enemy to destroy your enemy. I don't know if that's something you say, but it sounds cool, so I'll go with yes.
It's something in Sun Tzu's book. Haven't read it. Really should.
Exactly. It sounds good.
Bunch of quotes. You know, you can just say anything. You just put Sun Tzu after, and no one can prove you wrong. Everyone quotes it. No one's read it.
Perfect. It's just like the manifesto.
Well, we got the gank coming from J4. See, this is what I was talking about. You have to bait the Jax to go in on you first, but after that, you just get the kill on them.
And that was the Situ gank I was talking about.
Ooh, and the Sejuani gank and bot getting the Jinx pick. Ooh, both sides made a play, opposite sides of the map, and now they've kind of got a different situation going on.
But that was what I was talking about. I'd love to see the Seju gank on the bot lane here, with Nautilus follow up. Just they were too far ahead, didn't really have any follow up by the side of Team Troglodytes, and then they just get catched because Jinx just does not have the mobility.
There's definitely a lot more action this game. Definitely a lot more fighting happening early. Not just top being the only one that's gotten fights, and everyone else just waited till we got one invade that set the game in motion.
That is a level 6 Silas. I don't know if you want to fight that. That hurts.
Ooh, Viger missing the W on the Silas there. It's going to cost a lot of damage there, but I don't think he can get any kind of lethal pick here. Goes with the Sejuani ult, catches out Viger, get the knockup from J4. Ooh, that's a lot of damage. He doesn't have flash to get out. Ooh, and there goes Viger again, picked twice.
Well
played. Mid lane is not looking good.
Well played by Timsy here. I'm really enjoying his jungle performance. Just in the last game, this game as well. He's just there. Like if he's there, he's just playing it very well.
He's definitely performing early jungle. Ooh, the Raptors released. Reset.
Yeah, you gotta be very mindful of that with the new changes. They just reset so dramatically fast. And what do you know what really annoys me?
What's that?
Yeah, I'm gonna tilt about this as we see them take break here. Like they changed the jungle aggro, right? I'm like a jungler, and I really do love kiting the jungle camps, as I always say. I'm kiting the jungle creeps. So I was a bit disappointed by them just dumbing that aspect down. But the worst part is, like, if you kite the big minions, they just reset automatically. Like, if you leave the ring for 2 seconds, they are just like, nope, bye.
Yeah, the leashing's painful, and also, as any kind of laner, and I know a lot of ADC players gripped about it, and as well as top, especially when I mean, either blue or red side is just you, especially Gromp healing being removed, is you as a laner just can't take that anymore, and it always made, top side, blue side was always a lot stronger because of that, and red side, bot side got value from that as well, because you could just get that heal, get those resources, and stay in lane longer. But that's just kind of been removed because you don't get that healing from Gromp anymore. And you basically need lifesteal as a laner to take camps.
Absolutely, I agree, but now comes my gripe. The freaking small minions, yeah, the little shitheads that follow up
Jack's
the
ult wasted on that Camille engage.
That as well, but this is what I'm talking about, is much more... No, it's not.
sorry, the action happened, had to get to that.
The small damn minions, they follow you until you're home, into your bed. They do not care, they do not reset. they will follow you. You know, you're just walking away to reset, to recall, and they just, you know, every other big buff, like the blue buff, would have just resetted like 5 times already. And the big small minions are like, no, my legs are short, but my commitment is strong, and they just follow you into hell.
Yeah, no, you call the police and you be like, help it being stalked, and they come over and they just see a couple small raptors, you know, following you around. What do you do about that? Camille's zoning off Sejuani from her camp, getting pressure.
Yeah, that was a good move by the Camille.
Viger's getting some rotation, helping, you know, Sejuani out, but it looks like it's get back to lane because Silas is starting to pressure it.
I mean, just slowing the Sejuani down is already a big book for the enemy, like for the enemies. Oh, that was, well, I think it was running out, wasn't it? It looked interesting.
It's also just trying to get more plays for Camille, because, you know, top lane can become a lot of, you know, you just kind of push in a big wave and back off, and you need to find ways to, you know, influence the game outside of just pushing your wave over and over.
They were trying to get a pick here, but the Nautilus was just too...
Yeah, Nautilus went for an engage, and Zyra stuffed it out, and Kai'Sa went back in. J4 shows up. She has to flash. Ooh, she gets ulted. Her ult takes her just out of the ult field, and she's able to survive, but that is a lot of things used to try to live there.
It was well played by the Kai'Sa though. Well, the problem is just that the Nautilus was just too low. He wasn't able to tank all the damage from the Jinx and Zyra.
For sure, for sure. It's definitely, it's a punishing engage. He has to be very smart about when he goes in, because it can go really, really wrong. But well played with the Kai'Sa. That's how you know someone plays Kai'Sa, is when they know to instantly use her R to kind of get out of those sticky situations. Whether they're hopping over a jungle wall or they're getting out of a J4 ult, it just shows, you know, I know my character and I know how to get out of these situations.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done that. I have no fucking clue, man.
Nah, I don't play Kai'Sa enough either for that stuff.
I mean, I do play her,
like,
I just don't know.
Looks like TMP is going for the Rift play. They're getting this secured, try to get some gold back on the map. Looks like they're planning to use it top lane. Ooh, Viger Cage on the Silas. We get a fight starting here, but he is 2 levels up on the Sejuani. Viger has to take the long walk around the wall, but Jack shows up. Sejuani ult comes out. He's forced to flash. They're going back in. J4 has arrived. Nautilus gets the root. Ooh, early ult on the Viger. Silas gets out, catched by the wall again, but Viger is low on mana. Can't finish up the Silas. J4 gets picked. There you go. Jinx ult whiffs the entire fight. That could have been a triple kill from that ult alone. Silas barely lives once again. Resources are almost all down on TMP. No more mana to keep fighting. And health is looking low across the board. The only pick ended up being J4 there. That fight could have gone way differently. Just a few things went slightly off.
Very sorry if there's meowing in the background. My kitty just came to visit me.
Gotta add the cat cam to the stream.
Oh, true. Cat cam, please. Soon.
Increase viewership by 500%.
We're playing League with a cat cam.
Camille's slow pushing in. She's probably either going to take a reset or she's going to go look for a play here, get a plate. You and Jack's fights are he can't get too much damage because Camille just backs off and the minions are just going to, you know, start chipping away at his health. Jinx getting plates as well. Sejuani's low under turret. Silas is invading. I like these rotations from mid lane. Definitely kind of putting pressure on the enemy team. But he's in a sticky situation with all 4 members of TMP now looking to get on top of him and kind of punish him for this play. But I don't think they're going to catch him on the way out. I think Viger just spotted him there. They get a fight on that. There's no help from jungle anytime soon. Looks like he just gets out with Cage. But definitely a positive health trade that kind of forces Viger to be a lot safer.
Yeah, I feel like that that the mid laner is very confident on his champions that he's playing. It's just great to see.
But she's got great understanding of just his role and understanding what he needs to do in each matchup, and it's definitely been interesting to watch because he went from something that was a lot more passive and ended up getting really, really strong, and then he's now going something that's a lot more aggressive, and he's exerting a lot more pressure than we saw in Silas the other game, played by the other team. And he goes for the solo dive too. Might die because of Cage, but that is still... Ooh, barely lives a health. So Sejuani gonna hop the wall. Ooh, the pick. The W keeps him alive. Can he get out?
Never.
Ooh, E stalls. Ult will kill him. Ooh, Jinx whiffing the rocket, but we still get the pick on Nautilus by J4. Kai'Sa gets out once again.
I love seeing those Jarvan ganks though. It's just getting the Jinx ahead. It's such a fat Jinx. It's just so much fun to play. You feel like, you know, like do you know this minion farming simulator game where you just stand there and farm minions? Yeah, that's a fat Jinx.
The minions look like people, but you know, they feel like minions.
It's basically the same.
It's definitely like once she gets ahead and there's no one to rival her, it kind of just becomes a horror game for everyone else because Jinx just starts throwing his rockets on you. You just start melting.
Yep.
There's the point about talking about Camille, even though like Sejuani's on her, the damage trade is insane. But you know, Jack's getting back on. She's opted to fight the 1v2. Ooh, very close. She almost pulled that off, but I think a little bit too little damage. Some abilities just not placed properly, and it didn't get quite enough on Jax. But definitely could have pulled the pick for pick there, but she also could have ran. But I respect, you know, the attempt to fight there.
I respect the attempt, but bonk on the head for the greed.
Greed is good. Greed is good.
She might have been. She also very reset the E very rapidly. She might have been able to play around with her cooldowns a bit more, but well, we'll see that later, I guess. Hopefully.
Yeah, it's definitely a play that I wouldn't say was awful. She could have gotten a lot there.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Triumph, if she has Triumph as well, she would have gotten the heal, and she could have, you know, pulled it back at Sejuani as well, because the amount of damage that Camille gets off when she has Divine Sunder against the tank and the healing, it's just unplayable for Sejuani to deal with by herself.
Yeah, this game for Sejuani is rough anyways. I mean, she just have follow-up with the Jax and the Nautilus, she has great potential there. But it's just that they
Ooh, another engage on the Viger. Ooh, Cage tries to stall for a bit, but there goes the J4R. Gets the pick on J4, but Sylas gets to live, and Sylas is definitely able to fight off Sejuani as well. Looks like she's just going to try to kite him out. They're still fighting, but we got Camille on top, Jax lane. Jax uses ult, tries to engage on Camille. We're back on Sylas fighting Sejuani. Can't watch a single fight for too long. Looks like Sejuani just hops wall. Camille got out top lane, and now we're looking at bot.
I just wanted to say, not really your fault if they are just all over the place.
Okay. Watching Camille and Jax fight, and it's Sylas again, and it's Camille and Jax, it's Sylas again. We are a dicey situation. This is a attempted dive for Jax. He does get the pick, and he does get out.
But again,
the
Camille just using her E instantly on the Jax. I think she would have lived there if she E in the opposite direction instead of into the Jax. Might have been a mistake on her part.
Spell usage definitely could be a little bit better, but as well, just staying under turret that low health is always so risky with the way pushing in, because, you know, jungle shows up, anything happens, it becomes really risky. Like here as well, Jax staying too long once again. It was very risky. He might be able to hop out with the ward and live, but looks like the fight's going to happen. Sylas fighting mid lane, gets picked by Sejuani. And we also get the pick from, J4 here, but he almost died.
That was very close. By the way, a lot of ages on the Sylas. This is very interesting. I'd say he's opted for that because he's gonna be, like most of the time, he's gonna be in their 3 melee champions. So he opted for the sustainability build.
It helps him be more durable, as well as his entire team, like Jinx and Camille, both scale really heavy. So it kind of just helps him stay on par with. He has a lot more late game from Rod. It kind of helps him, you know, stay on par with his team, sort of falling off a little more, even though Sylas scaling is not awful in any way.
Especially because the potential picks he has on Viger and Kai'Sa, both are being pretty immobile. I mean, Kai'Sa does have her dash, but even still, she is pretty immobile, so I don't think he needs the Everfrost for... Well,
there's a lot of lockdown combined with J4, Camille, and Zyra that he doesn't necessarily need Everfrost. But, you know, more never hurts. It is definitely, it feels a lot better to land all of Sylas's moves when you can root them by yourself.
There comes the pick of the Nautilus. The question is, do they have enough damage? The exhaust really...
Both supports get picked here, but Jinx does get, you know, excited, and that kind of becomes really hard for Kai'Sa to deal with because the attack speed difference is just insane.
Yeah, I'd say that the exhaust just broke Kai'Sa's neck there. She needed 3 more auto-attacks to... the heal as well. She needed 3 auto-attacks to kill that Zyra off indefinitely, and in that time, the Jinx just whittled her down. Not much she could do there.
Yeah, even with the ult dodging Zyra ult, it just, you know, wasn't enough. Not else rooting Zyra and then ulting Jinx, you know, it's all the damage that Kai'Sa would be taking, but there's just more damage coming out from Jinx than from her.
Look at Team Troglodyte just already, like, again, collapsing on Team Mental Papier. Just very coordinated.
It's definitely more of a engage-focused comp, so you see a lot more aggressive plays, which is a lot more action than last game.
Rebane happy noises.
They're showing that, you know, either or they have a lot more expertise in just pulling off these things right now than the other team does.
I'm so proud of you guys.
J4 does get picked, but Jack's left in kind of a sticky situation. If Camille can get an engage on him, or he's able to hop out, then we might be able to see a pick here. There we go, there's the R. He can't hop out, held in by the wall.
And to be fair,
and Sylas gets the pick. Jinx Rocket missing a team fight for the 3rd time.
Shame on her.
We love seeing it go right on by.
You know, our jungler went to the Smite bootcamp. Jinx will get to the old bootcamp. But We just went like the gold before these fights were pretty much even, and Team Troglodyte just really turned it around with great picks, like getting it up to a 3k gold difference.
Ooh, Jinx walking in the cage and getting picked by Nautilus there. Doesn't get her killed as they go for the counter dive with Silas. Able to pick that off. Zhonya's resets turret. Jinx is going to get excited off this turret. Is she going to rush him down? Camille goes for the engage.
And
Might
with
see
the
a pick of
rod,
Sejuani here.
the Silas is just much
Ult used on
tankier than anything.
Nautilus ults Camille to keep Sejuani alive. Well played. Jax teleports in, goes and gets the pick on Camille. Fight turning in their favor. They're also going to get Silas here, it looks like. They're going to get Sejuani root with one more auto. There goes the smite. There's the pick. A lot of money on Jax right now. Ooh, that TP really turning everything Jax favor. That is several shutdowns onto Jax. Then we got a bot lane fight going here with J4 Kaisa. Jungle versus ADC. She gets one more proc. Ooh, there she goes. Her passive and Kraken proc getting her just out of that fight.
And they turned it around very well. Like,
a lot just went in TMP's favor there. That teleport and that solo pit with Kaisa will put a lot more gold on their table. The gold is back to even. And Rift is getting some turrets here. And they can secure the drag. They got a lot off that fight.
the Jarvan really greeted with his ult there. I think if he used it earlier, he could have kept the Kai'Sa in check more. I'm a bit surprised by that decision. And as well, the Silas. That's I'd like to address that because the Silas just in the top lane fight. First of all, it was very well played by him up till the Zhonya's, but then the Jax from behind came. He tried to fight it out of there, and he saw that the Jinx and the Zyra were kind of low and were falling back. And I think it would have been better for the Silas to just stay and fight. Even like it wasn't a lost fight at all, like 100%, but he dragged the Jinx down with him.
I definitely like when he after the Zhonya's proc. I also think just if they secured the turret and just backed off as a team, they were up for that play.
The Jinx was not ready to engage there. Yeah, she didn't follow.
Jinx was hovering back and didn't follow immediately. As well as if she followed up immediately as well, it could have gone in their favor. But they're just kind of a desync on the team right there on what they wanted to do. Definitely a problem that can be fixed. Just communicating with your team and making sure, hey, like after this turret falls, are we backing off? Are we going in?
So I'd say this was a great TP on side of Mental Papier, but also a big misplay on side of.
Yeah, no, Jax punished their overextend really well with that teleport and got a lot of gold on it. And we just need to make sure that Jax, spends this money well and is able to influence with that, 1,500 gold he just picked up for his team.
I mean, God Drinker on Jarvan does make sense for the team fights, but it's also because he got the God Drinker. No, it's not the God. Wait, oh yeah, it is a God Drinker. Instead of the Eclipse, he has not really the power to 1v1 the Kai'Sa, I'd say.
Yeah, no, he can't go for slow picks and Kaisa. It helps him definitely deal with, the beefier targets and stay in as a main engage. But it also means that, if he's ever fishing for those solo picks like earlier in Kaisa, it's not worth it for him because it's not going to work in his favor, as we saw earlier. Silas also getting the pick on Viger, using his own ult against him and grabbing out bot lane, helping shift a little bit tempo back towards Troglodytes once again. This is anyone's game right now.
That is true. I'm very hyped to see how it is going. It is a bit rough for the Camille because she didn't get the one kill on top lane. Jarvan got both of them. So she's pretty far behind now.
Yeah, no, as long as she gets her Ravens, though, she should scale pretty hard and still be a kind of roaming threat because while Jax can fight her a lot more on the push, she does have a lot more mobility to rotate to a fight than he does.
Camille just has a
as
lot of
she
utility.
has TP up and Jax does not, so, there's a little more influence for the next couple minutes. Looks like a fight may be brewing up here. People are getting positions. Silas with the TP gank gets the engage on Sejuani. They're going to go full in for the tank front to back, just like Jinx would like. Ult onto the Kaisa. Silas uses Sejuani ult on Sejuani. Jinx is excited, mowing them down. Jax engages, does not get the stun off on Jinx. Jinx is going to start melting down that team. Silas gets his Zhonya's off once again. Viger, caught by those Jinx rockets, just being melted. And that's 3 picks for the team, and only J4 dying on Troglodyte's side.
Well played by the Troglodytes, just engaging on the Sejuani. They needed a bit longer than was comfortable for the Sejuani, actually. I was a bit afraid.
Yeah, no, normally going for the tanks, not what you want to do, but when you have a Jinx and you have all this, anti-tank damage with your team, doing that just, helps set you up and melt down the rest of the team because you saw, like, Viger he lasted 3 seconds being shot by Jinx there and just was gone.
Absolutely. Just getting the Jinx excited to play it like back right there was the right decision. But Sejuani tanked a lot. Oh.
See, even Kaisa going for those picks on Jinx. Ooh, she barely lives. That is huge for Troglodytes. being able to keep the ADC alive with just that little health and getting one more pick and being able to back off this team was really good. Kai'Sa and Jax fished really hard to get that pick on her there, but it just wasn't enough. Viger using TP to protect top turret normally wouldn't be worth it, but with the Sejuani in position, it kind of sets up a gank, but they aren't able to get it off, and that's kind of a wasted TP with that play.
That was a very, very, very close e-call on that Viger. Holy damn. That Silas
Yeah, if that cage was a little more to the left, the Silas would have been picked there, but he squazzed right through. Sucked in his gut and just, you know, shimmied on by.
And I sucked in his butt, sucked in his gut, and just scrambled through.
Like Silas says, no more cages. He doesn't want to be back in those.
I mean, I don't think... Well, yeah, he got stuck once, but anything else, he's playing very well around those Viger cages, as far as I've seen. He just stays in the middle. The Viger as well, he places it on top of himself, which is a good choice, especially if you want to just walk out of there. But the Silas just gets off his abilities before the Viger can even walk out of his own cage. So
yeah, no, and Dutchy's just use his Zonias has been really good as well. He's been able to like get this pressure, split up their team to let, you know, Jinx melt down a single target while the rest of them are focused on Silas, and then he Zonias and they can't kill him. We'll see here again. There comes out the Zonias. So now, you know, Jinx got free damage. Silas flashes out, gets to live. Jinx flashes to the Nautilus Hook, barely. Camille in the middle of all the action, gets the ult off, pick on Viger. We see, you know, team split up half and half. Jinx gets the pick. It's looking really, really bad for TMP once again. Jax trying to salvage it, jumps into 3 Zyro plants. You don't want to be in that situation. More and more damage is marked out. We see another Zonias pop off on Jax. We see Jinx just running down the team. Another reset on Jax, and then she's just going to run down Kai'Sa with that move speed. Ugh, Jinx is just getting all these autos off, and Silas is just pulling so much pressure with those Zonias.
This Silas is making very big plays, with just being there and diffusing the whole situation.
Yeah, dude, she's just playing really well here. Really, just the mid and jungle prio that was in this early game has just set the team up so well. And just the lack of being able to get on Jinx because of Zyra and Silas diving backline has made it really, really rough for TMP this game.
I did see something though that kind of creeps me, but it is a nitpick because they won the fight overall. That is something that sometimes happens with ADCs. They just like, oh, tank, I go brr, you know? And I'm as ADC, so I can say that. I'm allowed to say that. But there was, the Jarvan got the Kai'Sa. She was completely isolated from the rest of the enemies. The rest of the team from the Jarvan was like, yeah, that's a nice tank you've got there, and was just, you know, clopping on their tank. I think they were punching the Nautilus, as far as I remember. And the Jinx would have just had to like walk one step to the left and just auto-attack the Kai'Sa twice.
Oh yeah, definitely. When you're in range to hit a squishier target as AC, you always want to go for it. But as well, like, you know, Jinx especially just loves, you know, a target's a target, and as long as they can get a pick on someone, they're happy. But yeah, if you do have a higher value target, always go for it, even if it's like a small step over. Now, if you have to like dive an entire team to hit them, of course you don't hit them, you just go for the tank, but...
Just keep in mind, like, keep an eye out for their carry as well, and especially if your teammate just got them isolated, turn around. Leave your other teammates to, like, peel you.
See, Jax engage on Camille. Camille is up a level, but Jax does have the tools to fight her. Wait, she does get a full second Q and gets out.
Damn. She's just been
farming. And we get the Baron pressure going. Silas looking to zone once again, playing as a frontliner for his team. That Rod tank durability really showing. We get the Jax TP coming out. Camille stops the TP, so it remains a 4v4 for the team. We get to watch Camille solo pick Jax. We see Nautilus ult come out and Jinx, but no one's there to follow up. Jinx gets the pick on Nautilus. She starts burning through Sejuani. Silas just staying on top of them. He's too tanky for them to kill. And once again, going in on the Viger. Getting him E second cast, and Jinx Rock comes in. There's the rocket landing, and that is almost a full team wipe with Kai'Sa barely living, but nothing she can do.
Finally. Okay, she does not need a boot camp. She has been redeemed. The Jinx redeemed. Yeah, I'd say. Team Metal Papier had a very great team fight pick early on the team, but now 3 team fights in. Team Troglodyte is just more coordinated than ever, knowing how strong they are, playing it like a fiddle. Very proud of them.
No, even with TMP's ADC being like the highest rank in this lobby, team's just not playing for him properly, and you know we see Jinx getting a lot more value than Kai'Sa's been getting, just because the team's kind of setting up situations that are just way more favorable for one than the other.
I do agree on that. I am
because Jinx, every time she's been pressured by Nautilus ult, there's been no one to follow up, so she's just been able to just tank that and then go right back to doing her job.
She just stands there. By the way, something that I've noticed earlier, that Bloodthirster, I'm a bit sus on that. Let's talk about it. I'm a bit sus on that Bloodthirster.
She's definitely losing a bit of damage by rushing that, because she could have Infinity Edge already, be 3 items, getting a bunch more crit damage. But it also makes her, a lot tankier, so if Jax does get on her, she can kind of, sustain a lot of his autos and get on.
Do you know where my problem lies? Shield Bow, not Shield Bow, I mean Bloodthirster isn't as tanky as it was before. It gives you a small shield and the lethality or the lifesteal, not lethality, the lifesteal does give you a bit of health back. The problem with Bloodthirster is, if you have no damage, you don't heal for shit.
Oh, for sure. She's definitely getting a lot of damage, and I do feel like, Infinity Edge would be, a lot more damage for her here. But also doesn't seem to be making too much of a difference. Just, those small things that could help you in a lot closer games. But we just see the whole team wiped here. Jinx autoing all of them. The Rockets, Baron buff, minions pushing in. This just could be the game ended. They might not respawn in time to hold their base. GG coming out from the Nautilus. He does not seem like he's seeing it. We see the DCs already. Base is just being ran down. Jinx, excited from turrets, is just going to mow through the base.
Well played.
One last good fight like that's all it takes to just end up the game. And, Jinx just gets the reset all game. 12 kills on the board. Zyra, keeping up. Silas and J4 setting up all these fights, and Camille doing her job as well, keeping pressure on Jax. Well played by Troglodytes. 2-0, showing, scaling and aggressive. They can pull off both.
Whoops. I'm so professional. Whoopsie boops. No one saw anything. Okay. This was the game, and with this, the winner of this series is Team Troglodytes. Very well played. Thank you for those games. That was very gripping.
That was well played. Well played.
So, let's see. I'm probably sure that we want the interview, right? I mean, maybe Urbane wants to just come in really quick as our interviewer. And maybe one of the team players.
Was that an upset game? Because it sounded like everyone was expecting the other side. Hello, hello.
Oh, okay, somebody's here. Hello, Titas. Okay, we can do it. I just... Oh, hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
My Discord was lagging,
Oh, it might be, but we're hearing you loud and clear. Thank you very much for joining.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, then let's just start with the general. I'm not prepared for this interview, so I apologize for being a bit confused.
I didn't know this was happening, I'm gonna be honest.
I was prepared. I thought Robane would do it. Well, it doesn't matter. Titus, welcome, welcome. You have to excuse me. For what team were you playing?
I'm playing for Troglodytes. I was the top lane.
Oh, I'd love to hear that. Okay, the first game. Talk about it. That was stunning to see.
At the first, like last series, it was like close kinda, but our team didn't perform that well. Like I managed to one game, but today we swapped with teams, and he said he was practicing jungle, so I was like, okay, maybe he will today show us some good performance. I'm proud of him because he played quite well, I would say, with Amumu and Jarvan compared to last series. In the first, like, we just said that our bot lane, just be careful, play safe because they have a master, But, at top, I'm not sure how I just stomped that, Olaf, because I'm kinda drunk, so...
A lot of the early plays were very close, but, you got that lead, and then, like, both Darius and Olaf just snowball like crazy, and you kind of went back and forth. And you got picked the one time because, you were there a little longer, low mana, and he got that one pick on you, but then he greeted right back, and you were able to pick him right back and just turn it back again in your favor. And even then, when you got ganked, you just were so, up so much health on Olaf that they couldn't actually pick you there with the Maokai.
Yeah, I think that one pickup where I died, I think I was pushing and then he came and I got killed because I didn't have I think Ghost was like 20 seconds and then my ult I think was 10 seconds. So maybe I could have killed, but...
Yeah, it's just the time.
It's my fault.
And you were
It's just
ahead.
my fault.
I mean, it's small things, but again, like, you turn it right back around because then he was caught too far up, you got him again, and then you were able to get your pressure back going, and you just taken over that game.
Yeah.
So you do think that, like, Timsy's performance today was your highlight of the team, probably, because he just improved by that much?
Yeah, I mean, last series, he wasn't doing well. At least last game. The last game of the last series, he was like, I think, 1-11, But today, I mean, even his ganks, he came where he needed to come. He even like somehow helped bot to win their bot lane matchup against Master. So I'm really proud of him.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
all his ganks,
also
they
so
they
proud of
pick
him, yeah.
they pick support every time, but again, like it just made it that Kaisa just couldn't do anything. She was always kind of just on the back burner, and Jinx just would get these small gold leads from all that jungle attention, and she was able to just kind of take over the game, and like they couldn't even get on her.
Yeah, I said
Yeah,
multiple times that I'm proud of him. It's just I watched the first game as well, and I'm very proud of him to just see him improve in his decision making as well. Even when he got like caught at the blue buff with the Mumu, he waited for the team before going in, and that was a big difference that I saw. Because that way you secured the kill and just got the mid lane ahead as well. Well played.
yeah. My team was kind of like arguing maybe that Maokai deceit because I think he stood for like 5 seconds just AFK.
Oh yeah,
But
no, we saw Makai was AFK for a few seconds, bot river. We were asking about that if something was going on because he just wasn't moving for a few seconds and then got picked.
We didn't
yeah, I
get any
think
information though, so we do not think that was the case.
I mean our mid said like if he deceit then they should just pause, but they didn't pause, so I guess it was maybe intentional. I don't know.
He wanted to confuse you, play Shaco.
Got a text
Yeah.
from his Discord kitten how to respond.
Oh
It's
Yeah.
no.
just it's the priorities.
Oh no! Well, then the first game we spoke about. The second game was a bit closer, wasn't it? Especially the turnaround they had.
Yeah, the second game I was doing pretty fine at top lane, but then uh, I haven't played a lot of Camille lately, so I kind of like played only one game I think this season at Camille, and I haven't played a Jax. I most of the times ban Jax against when I play Camille, but I haven't played it like a lot against Jax, so like I thought that I win when I get my Divine Sunder, and then he got two, but I guess I just needed to buy Executioner so I could win. The early stage, I was pretty fine. I was pretty fine that I could solo kill him, but then after Divine, Camille is like huge power spike when she gets her Mythic. I thought I could win against him, but I guess I not, and I just like inted I think 2 or 3 deaths.
Yeah,
But
so
Yeah,
then
Jax Camille's a very skill-based matchup because both have just answers to each other's kits. Because he can dodge your Q2, you can kind of avoid his leap and his dodge if you use your E right. So it can go back and forth, and it really comes down to just each player and how they use the kit against each other. But you did have a really, really good pick on when he was TPing to the Baron play towards the end of the game. You were able to stop him and pick him there, which was a huge play for your team.
I was
yeah,
so
I was.
excited. I watched the mini map because I saw you seeing him teleporting, and I was like, "Yeah, Titus, go for him!"
Yeah, I mean, I was saying that I should go bot, and then I went bot. I saw Jax, and I thought that he will have TP. I instantly went to trade so he could be lower, because then I watched that my team is like going for a fight, and then just Jax falling back. So like it's just like
It's very
that he's going
telegraphed,
to
yeah.
TP. So I just followed, and then I just see he's just teleporting and ward, and I just easily picked him up.
Clip worthy still. I'm
That's
more
the one you
impressed
put
by
on
it.
your resume to join T1.
Yeah.
That's the play right there.
Okay, it's time to kick you out because we've got a new guest coming. Thank you very much for staying with us and
Okay.
channeling
Thank you
your
for having
inner
me.
Gragas. As the support of Team Mental
Support.
Papier will be joining, so yeah,
Vas-y.
there he is. Oh god, you're very loud.
The Brahma Nautilus. Hello.
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 How are you?
So
We are
far,
good,
so
thank you.
good. Thank you very much for asking. But how are you after those two losses?
Well, first time two loss, first loss, but no, we know we errors. Sorry for my English. We make some big mistakes in early in the first game, and topside we just lose the game on topside. Then how to say it? Yeah, first game was what we can make some good moves on with the bot lane, but it was too hard. The game was winnable, I think more the first than the second, but we need to try more to play both side next time.
Take
Yeah,
your
that's
time,
something
by
we
the
were
way.
noticing a
Don't
lot was,
stress. Yeah.
there was some focus that was going a lot more towards top when, like, bot, especially game one, like Caitlyn, that comp's designed
Yeah.
to, like, you want to get Caitlyn ahead and you just want to, like, take turrets, siege everything and just snowball off that, but there really wasn't much attention shown to the bot side and kind of
Yeah.
made it awkward because, you had Darius that was really fed and you just didn't have the damage to answer him or anyone else in the
Yeah.
team.
And Darius in the early game is so strong. The first
And then,
mirror.
game two, what do you think definitely would have helped, that one be more in your favor? Because that one seemed a lot more even gold-wise for most of the game.
Yeah, the first, in the second, we need to abuse both side. I think if they pick Jinx and which was the second
It
one?
was Jinx and
The second
Zyra.
Yeah, Jinx Zyra. We pick Nautilus and Kesa. We need to run at three with Sejuani bot. They play really safe. That's how they need to play, and we need to go out on this bot lane to make some difference, because we know in the first game we see the top and the mid was good, but the bot lane we can make some. I think we can play better in the second game if we abuse in the end of the bot lane. I think it's really winnable.
Yeah, I do find it a bit sad because I saw your great team coordination of your team the last few times you played, and this time you didn't really get to shine because you were just too far behind at the time the team fights went.
Yeah,
So I'm very hyped to see for the next match against Schraubenzieher für Ehre to maybe let you shine again.
Yeah, I think that's why too we there was not our jungler, our first jungler, and the synergy was different. We can see it, the call and all the moves between the first, not the first game, but the first day. There is so difference in these two junglers in play style and call.
Definitely something, working with new people too, is you will make sure like you guys all know like, hey, well, who are we playing for this game and all that.
Yeah.
Because it definitely, you both your drafts seem to be in favor of, you want to have a strong bot side, and then it ended up not playing out that way quite a bit.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us here. I wish you
thank you.
best of luck because I do be very enjoying your games as well. I'm rooting for you
Thank
for
you.
the next fight, and we see us then.
Yeah. See you in the next game.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So with this, well, are there any closing statements from you, my dear co-caster?
I do think I gotta say, so a lot of good plays from Troglodyte's mid laner. Dutchy really just exerted so much pressure that game. It helped their team, have a lot of breathing room for a lot of things, and like when he's playing aggressive, he was getting rotations, pressure on the enemy jungler, pressure, on ganks, roams. I mean, on Cassin as well. Like he even had good rotations on that when he was playing a character that was going to be a lot more, slow and behind. So just kind of showing the strengths, mid lane especially. That's what I have to say. It's probably one of the just strongest players that they had for these two games. Was just able to exert so much for his team and just get the ball rolling for them where they want it to go. As well as like just everything like laning on top and bot was solid pretty well for that team as well. And jungle definitely more action second game than the first game, but definitely he was where he needed to be, causing that kind of split in the team, getting Jinx her picks off and just moving on. So it was really well played by that team overall. I gotta say, it was a lot of clean stuff.
Yeah, I hope I don't go against Dutchy, not gonna lie. I'm a bit afraid of him. Just overall, I do think that, I mean, Pachi just said it, like the supporter of Team Mental Papier, the loser here in this series right here. It was just a bit sad to see that the bot lane was just forgotten that much. And I say that with a bit of sarcasm because I, as a jungler, I tend to ignore bot lane just completely. But
Really
it is.
It's such a strong lane.
I know.
It's such a strong lane.
I mean, to be fair, it's in solo queue, so there you can just ignore it. they won't
Oh
be.
yeah, I don't trust solo queue ADCs. They're not real.
Yeah, no, don't. But it is very important to just set up the goal like right from the start, right from the draft. If you pick something like the Caitlyn, she's just freaking useless if you do not play around her. So I do hope that they just pick that up and polish it for the next game, so they can get back in to the series.
You know, and for any team too, it's like you guys want to know like when you're loading in, like, hey, what lane is probably going to be pushing in, who's going to have the prio, and where jungler should be going. Like your entire team should be knowing, hey, jungle is going to be in my lane at 3 minutes.
And please,
unless something happens.
As a jungler, don't
before
cry.
the game even starts.
Don't freaking cry when your Kassadin mid lane against Xerath has no pressure. Let the poor Kassadin be.
Yeah, you have to understand, like, hey, like if you know your top's Kale and your mid's Caston, they're gonna be pushing a turret. They're not gonna be able to rotate. So like it's a lot of times like you either plan to split the map bot side or something, or you just have to give up your top jungle and get invaded because your team's just not gonna come help you. They can't. Because what happens then is they come to rotate, the enemy just leaves, then your Kale and Caston now lost like 2 waves, and now they're not gonna scale. So it's just stuff like that, just understanding, what's our identity, what are we trying to do to win. Especially like Caitlyn comps, Caitlyn is your team when you pick Caitlyn. Same thing with like, Zeri, all that stuff. Is when you pick those characters, it's just kind of like this is our team, and you have to play for that because Caitlyn behind, she can do a little bit of damage, but you basically have to assume that everyone else on your team can just carry without her if you ignore her. And
Absolutely.
we just didn't see that happen the first game.
Thank you very much for rounding off this podcast, and thank you, cast.
Podcast.
Thank you very much for joining me. I had a lot of fun. You did the most of the work in case of shouting, so my voice is very refreshed. I hope you'll relax your voice now because I kind of feel bad for it.
I gotta drink some water.
Yeah, drink some water, and we'll see you next tomorrow. I think the first game is Team Mental Papier against Arna. No, it's not. Is it? I'm not sure. Well, whatever. It's in the schedule in the Discord. Please excuse me.
I will be there tomorrow.
Oh, I won't. Well, I will play.
Oh,
Please cast me.
Do I get a shoutcast your game? What
Yeah,
team?
shoutcast my play. Okay, goodbye guys.